I would like to say that they don't drive my decisions. Although I know that it stays with me. Even if I know it's complete and utter nonsense or coincidence without meaning. I feel like somewhere deep in my head, I'm working out why it's important for me to remember. So I'd like to say it doesn't affect me, but I think it kind of does. I think it kind of does to me. On paper, I'll say no. On paper, I will 100% say no. Coincidences do not have meaning, but in my head, I'm figuring out why I'm not seeing it more clearly and what I need to pick up from it that I'm not getting. Hello, potato chipper. Make decisions based on all information available and make an informed decision. However, let's say you have a bunch of factual evidence. Let's say you have all this information put together and you're about to make a big decision. You're about to move countries, you're about to move states, you're about to quit your job, you're about to divorce somebody, you're about to engage somebody, you're about to move on with this next big phase of your life. Can a coincidence override those decisions for anybody in here? Do you see yourself being susceptible enough to a coincidence to change your mind based on all the other information that's real? Absolutely. Brandon MCCJR88 says absolutely. You rely on yourself, not something I cannot depend on. Interesting. But is it a coincidence or trusting your instinct? But is the instinct picking up on your coincidences? Is it instinct? Let's talk about that for a second. That's a good point. Instinct and coincidences. There's something there, isn't there? Is there a connection there? Could be the universe's way of getting your attention. And that's the thing that I can't get rid of. There's this scratching in the back of my head that says, hey, you know what? You might have left the stove on. You might have left it on. Maybe you better check. Your fight or flight. So do you guys think coincidences have anything to do with our instincts as human beings? Let's take it really primal. We're talking about how the universe might be trying to tell us something, and for what that means to anybody of any creed or religion, they can pull from that what they may. But what about your human instincts trying to cipher or decipher what those coincidences mean, or actually making up the idea that it's a coincidence to begin with? Maybe we're just all so numb to what our instincts are nowadays, we make up coincidences because of some latent primal reflex. Is it even a coincidence or just new information you're getting for the first time? Interesting. Coincidence you win. I think most people are under the impression that gambling has a high chance of loss, though. So the coincidence of you winning is you actually playing the odds. So that's more of luck. I think gambling has more to do with luck, not the coincidence side of here. Laserholic, who are you, the thoughts of the viewer or them? The thoughts of the viewer of them. Or you mean or them? Are you trying to talk about how we see people as we see ourselves, not how they actually are? This is why we're having someone to play devil's advocate with you to make decisions is good. It's a good point. It's a good point. It's a good point. But I still want to hear what you guys have to think about instincts. I want to hear you guys let me know if you think that instincts have any role in playing with coincidence. Because I think I have a point. I think I have a good point. I think our instincts aren't used as much anymore. I think latent instincts are making us turn to coincidences to justify our animal primal nature. I think we're out there waiting to be killed at any moment, and we're not. We're completely safe for the most part, other than living in the wild. And we're sitting here trying to pick up on clues like the wind blowing this way, a smell that we haven't smelled before, the weather coming in, the plants not growing a certain way, a herd of animals coming in when it shouldn't be. And we're trying to pick up on these things because it's a telltale sign of something bigger that would happen in nature, but now we're not able to do that anymore because we don't live in that anymore. We live in a concrete jungle isolated from nature. Coincidence, confirmation bias to you? Okay. Absolutely. I think it's 100% correct, Lazeholic. I think it's 100% correct. Coincidence is confirmation bias. But confirmation bias can still be correct sometimes, right? Even if you're going out there looking for information that you find correct, you could still pick the right one, right? It might be biased in your approach to it, but the information that you're getting can still be correct, right? So even though you're going around going, man, there's a lot of red cars around, and one part of your head just goes, oh, it's just a bunch of fucking red cars. Like, what the hell's the difference? But why do you keep noticing them, But then something happens with a red car, and you're like, damn, that was weird. I was looking at red cars all day today, and then something happened, I still don't think one should spend massive amounts of time figuring out the meaning. What would you consider massive amounts of time? Of course, anything that's leading you to have some poor quality of life. If they're obsessive thoughts, if there's something that's overruling your life, or you're making other decisions to make those happen more, you're trying to curve the universe to your advantage. I think absolutely. But figuring out the meaning is something personal. What I'm asking is, do you think there is a meaning? You miss out what is in front of you. I like that. I like that idea. Good. I'm glad you found me, Irish gal. Every time I visited my dad's grave, the wind blew. But see, you noticed the wind. I bet you there's a lot of other things that were happening at the same time, but you noticed the wind. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, did you ever go out there and it was raining, or did you go out there and, you saw a specific animal, or, was anything else? Like, was the sun out every time that you were there? Was the grass always cut? Was there a specific color flower? Like, there's got to be something else that was the same, but you're noticing the wind. I like that. Like a kiss on the cheek. But what did you say? Let me see. Coincidence or just started noticing. That's the confirmation bias that we were talking about. Like, does that crow over there mean I'm going to die? How long should you ponder that? I don't think the length of pondering, I think the length of pondering, obviously matters, but pondering on anything too long is going to be an issue. I think the another way to say that would be how much value you're going to be giving to it, and that's what I'm asking. How much value do you give to that crow, or is it just a crow? How much value do you give to it? Not necessarily how much time you spend trying to figure it out. Because at the end of the day, you're never gonna know. No one's gonna go there. Oh, you know what? Did you see a crow? Well, it's on the news. That crow means you're gonna die. Sorry, you saw it. You know what I mean? No one's gonna give you that answer. So pondering it and ruminating over it is never gonna get you anywhere with most anything. But finding out the value. Okay, you do not give it much value. That's something I could hold on to. So not giving it value, or giving it a little bit of value, or a little bit of both, right? I think moderation is the key to most most big questions out there, right? So going, oh, you know what? Maybe I should not try to die today. Maybe not try to die. You know, let it enter your head and then let it fall out the other ear. Like seeing a hearse and thinking you're next. I think, to be honest with you, Joanne, I can't remember a time that I saw a hearse and didn't think that I was next. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think just that's God-given fear, man. I think that's just straight up more fear of mortality, morbid fear. So let's talk about that for a second. That's an interesting one. What are some universal signs that maybe it's a coincidence, but maybe everybody feels like that too? What are some things that some people see that immediately bring them to something either positive or negative, right? What's a lucky sign? What's something, so rainbows, right? Everybody sees a rainbow and goes, it's going to be a good day, right? Or, God, I never heard the one about the crow, but that's stuck in my head for some reason now. Or picking up a penny, right? Picking up a penny or a dime or something is good luck, right? Final Destination made you terrified of lumberjacks. Yeah, I get triggered by lumberjack trucks now too. And why the hell do they have 5 Final Destinations? Like seriously, it's Final Destination, Final Destination, Final Destination 2, Final Destination 3, the finale. Final Destination 4, the finality comes again. It's like the Bourne supremacy and the Bourne identity. I used to go around telling a joke that the next Bourne movie that comes out was going to be the Bourne redundancy. Okay, so a penny face up. A penny face up is luck. Okay. Snow owls bring death. Did not know that. Good to know. Dragonflies are good luck too if they land on you. I heard butterflies too. Butterflies coming next to you are luck too. So, and then of course the difference between I know you like that, the Bourne redundancy. The difference between what we're talking about now, about these sort of signs and omens bringing either luck or a bad omen, a dandelion's good or bad. So the difference between these is that it's a one-off. It's a singular thing. Thank you, Jesselyn, for the love bangs in my mouth. It's a singular thing, whereas coincidences are a dragonfly landing on you, and then the next day you hearing a story that your friend told about a dragonfly landing on them, and then hearing a song about a dragonfly, and then someone giving you a gift with a dragonfly necklace. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think it's one thing to look at certain visuals or hear certain things and bring about some sort of good or bad omen, right? But it's another thing to get like a bunch of them in a row in a very short period of time and not be able to think, or at least for a second think that, wow, what the hell is going on here? Never heard of the song Holes in the Floor of Heaven until someone said it here. Just saw a TikTok video with that song right after. What a coincidence. Wow. Is that, are you for real? That's really weird. I also want you guys to remember, by the way, I'm going to be putting this, before I get into this, I'm going to be putting this video up. That is very weird. I'm going to be putting this video up. I'm screen recording this. I'm going to be putting this video up on my YouTube channel, and you can find my YouTube in my bio, in my TikTok bio. However, I want everybody to think about something for a second. We're having a discussion on coincidences right now. If you come across something, or if you start hearing this topic of coincidences, or seeing some movies, or hearing some songs, or other people talking to you about this subject, more than once, because once is just luck. But if you keep hearing this subject over and over again, you've got to let me know. I need you to let me know. Because I have this theory it's complete bullshit, but I'm going to tell you it anyway, that if you instigate a thought in somebody, or if you instigate a subject that truly interests them, they might see it more often. And I want to test that. So you guys are all my test subjects right now. I don't want you to look for it. Don't look for it. Wait for it. And if it comes to you, it comes to you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The coincidences if you have explanations? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think there are coincidences if you have. You all love my bullshit. Subconscious suggestion. Yeah. I want to know how many people deal with that, though. I want to know how many people have been subject to that subconscious suggestion. And I want to hear the stories behind them. Does that make sense? Because some of them, somebody's going to be like, yeah, I saw a movie about it. I'm like, okay. You know, somebody might be like, oh, yeah, I saw a TikTok video about it, too. I'm like, okay. But there's going to be somebody who has a lot of them. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's the one that I want to hear about. Do you see what I'm saying, Toxic? It's Facebook spying. You might not be wrong. And that's what that's what Toxic Grizzly was talking about, using people's likes and suggestions and the demographic profile that they exhibit to be able to pitch them things that they're most likely to buy. From your browser history. You hear me? Yeah. Because here's what's weird about what I'm doing right now. I heard something about this about 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't stop hearing about coincidences, so much so that I'm bringing it now to you. I've been infected. I've been infected by the subject, and it's driving me nuts. But it can't have a casual connection. Tell me. Because I'm bringing it up? Because I said something about it? Because I said something most people didn't catch on was advertising joke. Look how Beats did their advertising. It was all subconscious suggestion. That's how they grew. You can say that about for instance, but some people are so great. Some people's quality is so great they don't need advertising at all, like Tesla and Apple. You don't see many Apple advertisements, and I don't think I've ever seen a Tesla commercial. It can't have a casual connection. To be a coincidence, you mean? Do you think that people who have a higher belief have a higher propensity to believe in coincidences meaning something? Yes or no? I'm sure we can go into reasons as to why that might be. I just wanted to get an idea as to what you guys thought. So that's more of a premonition, Joanne. That's more like prognostications of the future. That's a little bit different than coincidences. So again, you think it's more generational? Tell me, what you think? Tell me what you think. Why you think it's generational, Toxic Grizzly? You think people without information, or people who didn't have as much information as we might have nowadays, thought coincidences were more important? Something like that? I think you're just trying to be nice. I think you're trying to be polite. Yes, okay. It's a good idea. So yeah, so again, to be a coincidence, it's got to be multiple things. So deja vu, again, is a little bit different. And that's kind of what I want, that's what I really want to drive home about this. So deja vu, I'm going to read you the definition of it. Deja vu is a little bit different than coincidences. Deja vu specifically has to do with something that's happening in real time. And it's different that, so here's an idea though. Here's an idea. If you have a dream about something, and then you have a deja vu about something, and then you see a movie about something, and then you hear a story about something, and it's all got the same subject, that's a coincidence. That series of events is a coincidence. A one-off is something different. Does that make sense? Yeah, we've had a discussion on deja vus before. So I'm going to read you what I'm going to give you the Wikipedia version for whatever that means. It said it's the feeling that one has lived through a certain present situation before. Okay, it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling, right? And we talked about some people think that it's, they literally say something like, let me see, people who travel more or watch more movies are more likely to experience deja vu than others. Furthermore, people also tend to experience deja vu in more fragile conditions or under high pressure. So if you're in a fragile condition or under high pressure, you're more likely to experience deja vu. Research shows that people who experience deja vu also decrease with age. So the older you get, the less deja vu that you have. So a lot of people might say, especially I can attest to that as I got older, I did not have as much deja vu as I used to. When I was a kid, I deja vu'd all the time. I had deja vu all the time. That's a very popular saying, right? So, but again, the idea is that deja vu is this one specific one-off feeling that you're having that something's happened already. Coincidences are a series of events. And that's why coincidences interest me a lot more, because there's more variables. Does that make sense? There's more variables that are coming in. It's not just, I had a dream about something. I had a deja vu. Isn't it weird that I heard this song the other day? Those are those one-offs. The coincidences are something that happen a lot, right? Like seeing the same number over and over but not knowing why. Yes. I'm really, like, some of them, I think we've redefined a coincidence, though, because coincidence is almost like a convenient truth, right? Wouldn't it be weird if this meant this? That's what it seems like we've defined coincidences as. But again, it's a series of events. And when you have a series of events, it's hard not to bring some sort of meaning into it. And that's what this whole TikTok live, TikTok, that's what I'm going to call them, TikToks. That's what this whole TikTok's about. The coincidences that are happening. I honestly can't tell you of a good series of them. Yes, like New Orleans, Jessica, absolutely, like New Orleans. I can't tell you of a series of coincidences that's happened to me outside of having already assigned a meaning to a visual representation of something like that. Like I said, like the 1022. Every time I see 1022, it's my birthday. I feel like I made it home. I made it safely home. I made it to another day or something like that. Like, oh, I'm where I'm supposed to be for some reason. But that's a reason I've assigned myself. So having known that definition of coincidences, does that change your opinion of what coincidences are? And does anybody have a coincidence story? I obsess over the why part. Yeah, I think why is, this is a personal opinion. I think why is one of the questions that waste the most time. What's up, the Epic Voice Guy? I think why is one of the questions that waste the most time. And why is the one that gives you the least amount of answers and causes the most stress. Why something in the past happened, why something might happen in the future. Why are you asking why? What's up, buddy? it can cause a lot of stress. And at the end of the day, if it's not something that you're going to pick up from Encyclopedia Britannica or an educated resource or verifiable resource, it's just going to be something that you make up at the end of the day. That why. You're infinitely questioning something. Yeah. Live day by day. There are good ones, there are bad ones. I don't dwell on more than that. That's a great... Why do Disney/Sony hate us? Please explain. Please explain. Why do they? Is there a thing about that I don't know about? Why I can call it a lot of overanalyzation and pain. Yeah, overanalyzing and pain. There's this. When I was a insurance adjuster, when I was an automobile insurance adjuster, I used to have to determine. I did not hear. Help me. They just cut Spidey. Oh my gosh! What? What? I guess he's got his own friend. I guess he's got too much of his own thing. Oh my God! They couldn't agree. Oh my God! Oh my God! Whoa! 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 They cut him out of the whole fucking universe, like indefinitely for the future. It's because Stan Lee died. It's because Stan Lee's not here anymore. Stan Lee's not here anymore to make peace. And Disney bought up all the rights, and now they're going to do whatever the hell they want with it. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm having a moment here, guys. I'm sorry. Oh God. Wasn't it, why did God let Stan Lee die? That's those answers. Why ask that question, you know? Disney asked for 50-50 split and Sony said no. Wow. Yeah, they're not gonna, and I think that's probably why Toxic. I think that's probably why they couldn't come to terms, because they knew that Spider-Man's got its own, he's got its own momentum on the side of it. You know. They cut Spidey. Oh my God, I know, right? Just huge news. Huge news. Jeez, do you think there's a do you think there's a connection between Stan Lee passing and this deal not going through? If he loved us, things like this wouldn't happen. What's up, Rough Country? Welcome. Yes, Rough Country. I am Jason with the Y. That's correct. Way to tie the topic back in. Thank you, Minnie. So, has anybody does let's bring it back to the coincidence part of it. Does Spider-Man getting cut out of the Marvel comic universe have any sort of coincidence to anybody's life? Did anybody just kill a spider? Did anybody just finish watching a Spider-Man movie? Did anybody just finish watching Post Malone's Sunflower video or hearing that song? I don't think it has anything to do with Stan Lee. I think it's just Sony being greedy. It's a big company. Good big company. You're in love with Sunflowers and the song. They've only ever been able to do mediocre. You killed a spider outside right now? What a coincidence. Just looked up a Sunflower shirt, I swear. Did you really? Interesting. Think Disney could buy Sony? You think so? I don't know. That would be huge. That would be huge. That'd be like Taco Bell buying McDonald's or vice versa. The Spider-Man movies have always been cursed.